Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs, and my name is Geoffrey Davis, and we are being hosted for this interview at the law firm of Tarlow, Hart, and Rodgers. And my interview is with Geoffrey Norman, who is chairman of the real estate group at Tarlow, Hart, and Rodgers. Welcome, Geoffrey.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background as an attorney and how you got into real estate.
Well, not directly and not with direct intent. When I came out of law school, I applied for a job, and the company that hired me was CVS. In fact, I was the first attorney they ever hired, and they were a small drugstore company of about 170 stores when I came there, and eventually became general counsel at CVS, and was with the company for 10 plus years. But that really got me into real estate. Most of what I wouldn't say all of what I did at CVS, but most of what I did at CVS was real estate, and unifying their real estate function, their leasing function, buying properties, getting rid of some of the properties they didn't need, and so forth. And that was the area that I liked most. It wasn't something that I thought necessarily I would like most, but it was what I actually enjoyed.
So tell us about commercial real estate. Give us the Geoffrey Norman course.
I wanted to talk really about the couple of the things that I see in terms of clients that come in to see me with particular real estate matters, commercial real estate matters, and where I see the problems being sort of most consistent and most significant. And the first, and I would say this occurs mainly from the tenant side, because I represent landlords and I represent tenants.
Right.
But from the tenant side, the tenant tends to arrive too late in the process. And by that I mean they've already had significant negotiations with the landlord, probably over a what in leasing terms would be called a letter of intent, or an offer to purchase in terms of buying a property, and many of the aspects of the transaction are already decided.
Are there any trends that you're seeing in real estate right now that are changing the way business is conducted, or anything in general right now?
Well, there are lots of different trends. I mean, one of them is just the nature of the technology that's involved is changing the nature of the business, in the sense that most transactions were, I would say, going back even 20 years, most transactions were face-to-face transactions. Somewhere along the line, a group of people, principals and attorneys, got in the room and negotiated the transaction, or at least the important aspects of the transaction. That rarely happens today, and it's not necessarily you can't stop the technology, but it's not necessarily something that makes things easier, because emails and so forth are not always the same thing as somebody sitting across the table from you and getting a sense of what your issues are and so forth. Much more difficult to ascertain really what the other attorneys got in mind if all they're sending you is emails.